Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of City Skylines. You might have noticed that once again everything looks completely different, and the reason for that is because I really desperately want to reach the 1 million mark. And the way we did it, I think we could have done it, but it is not efficient enough. It would have taken us hundreds and hundreds of episodes probably. So in between the episodes, I took myself the time to actually come up with a design that is going to get us to 1 million. We are still going with the same idea that we actually don't let people get out of the districts using their cars. They still have to use the cargo terminals, as you can see here. But this time I did it on a bigger scale, so only this area here equals 50,000 people. That means we only have to do that, well, only in quotes, but we only have to do that 20 times in order to get to 1 million. I'm still not done. I think we can actually add one more of those expansions, including one more of the commercial/industrial expansion, and we should still technically be good. Now I think I'm going to explain you everything as we actually start building the additional district, because it's just a copy of the previous district. But what's important is the train lines here. I've actually decided to lead everything into one single track for all of the exits. So what we can see here is cargo trains can actually come in, they can deliver their cargo, and they can also go back and forth between the stations. Whenever they decide to actually leave the terminals for good, they take the track here backwards. And that track is actually a one-way track, so they only take it if they really want to exit, and that is really practical. Before I only had one line and they were getting stuck, getting into each other's way all the time. But like this you can see they can be pretty efficient, and there's a train like every second. Sometimes the trains are actually queuing up all the way down to here, and I've already been at 50,000 income at some point, but I decided to place a couple of things that were expensive. One more thing that is really important is, of course, the metro stations. I use a metro station right here on each district. This is actually the district where they enter, so this is where they can have access with the highway. But they can also access every district using these lanes. So if we have a quick look down below, you can see they have an exit for each of the districts, but they cannot get out. Same thing counts, of course, for the residential districts. This change actually also made the passenger trains more useful. There's now a passenger train coming in, and we can also see some people coming out here, and they will either take a car or they will go to the subway stations right here. This station is going through all of the districts here, the commercial/industrial districts, and this subway is going to the residential areas. However, they were using the subway so frequently that I had to make a pathway here in order to filter out a couple of people. So all of these people were using the subway before, but now they don't, and that is good. With the Snowfall DLC, there were also trams. That was actually something I was missing, and I wondered why the heck I don't have that in the game. And of course it was because I didn't have the DLC. But the trams, they are very, very good, especially with these roads. They are much more efficient than buses. They can, take 3 times the amount of people. Also, they don't wait at the stations for as long as buses do. They just load up the people and they continue going. And this is actually insane. If we have a look at one of these lines, you can see I have so many trams just full of people that would otherwise use a car. So that is the whole concept behind everything. Now let's just unpause the game, let it run at the normal speed, and we are going to get started building more of these districts. First of all, I want to expand this a little bit. But let's see, we probably need to be able to connect this. Yeah, I did definitely connect this with a normal tram track. Let's just build it up to here for the time being, and then we're gonna take one of the big ones. And I think I need to be here. No, we need to be able to make it past there. Past the university. Okay, that looks about right. This is gonna be our new district. This time we can't make it as big, but it should be big enough. So we want to end up with something like that. Let's wrap this up. And there we go. This is our tram track. We will have 18 trams just going all the way around, and inside it's going to be purely residential. So let's go ahead and do something like that. And then I'm going to add 2 roads that don't quite connect to the line, and the third one is going to connect again. And we're gonna have a tram stop at each of these intersections. So 2 without connection and 1 with a connection, and so on and so forth. Something like that, very easy. We're also gonna do the plumbing right away. And this is actually also done very easily with a narrow design such as this. Let's actually connect it here and maybe also on the top. Next up, we need to add all of the services, and I just went with a big hospital here. I basically added all of the services on the outside so that I have the most space to get the actual residential in the joint. So let's just set up a couple of things here, such as police, fire departments, etc, etc. We're also gonna need approximately 4 schools to supply all of the citizens. We're gonna need approximately 2 high schools. And we're also gonna add a university, just for shits and giggles. Next up, we're gonna do our tram tracks, and as I said, I want to have 1 stop at each intersection here. And I'm actually gonna have it after the intersection. So going into this direction, we're gonna have it after the intersection, but going the other way, it's of course gonna be on the other side of the intersection. There we go, line completed, and let's do it into the other direction as well. There we go, line completed, and those are gonna be the, where are they? Tram line 11 and 12. So this is gonna be citizen 3. And as I said, we want 18 trams here, even though we only have 12 stops. But we're gonna fill them all, believe me. Well, actually, since this one is a little bit smaller, this district, maybe we can go with 16 trams. We should also have less stops. Oh, actually, we don't have an even number of stops. I did make a mistake somewhere. Ah, right here, we have a stop missing. Okay. Well, it's a little bit smaller. I think I'm just gonna go with 16 trams. Citizen 3, 16 trams, that's good. Then we have tram line 12, which is citizen 3 as well. And that's also gonna have 16. Good. With that out of the way, we also need a pathway over there. Let's actually install that right away. I want one right here on one side of the cargo terminal. Get over there, go down to here, I guess. And then one on the other side as well. Just to make it as convenient as possible for people to cross. One more thing we want to do is also add a path between each of the roads we didn't connect, so at least the people who walk can take them, but cars won't. One more thing before I forget, remove all the traffic lights. The trams are actually coming from this side. I have my tram depot right here. As you can see, they are traveling through means of this. And I just see people can actually use that. I think, yeah, right here I have a pathway. Well, people might prefer the pathway. Let's just install one. It's not really gonna bother us anyways. Right there, looks good. Next up, we also need our subway right there. We're gonna connect it with you. And of course, we also want to drag that line right over there. Add a couple of stops right here and there. Great. And now we probably can add a couple more wagons. Yeah, we have 6 stops. Can we add more vehicles? Yeah, now we have 10. That's good. Very nice. Okay, we actually already have a little bit more demand for residential. However, most of my households are not completely filled up, but I think that just takes a while sometimes. Maybe we just start adding a couple more residentials here since we're ready. Oh, before we do that, one thing I almost forgot that is very important. We need to have a connection. Oh, I actually totally forgot that with the second. Oh, that might be why it was kind of hard to develop that. Let's actually get another street so we can go straight up here. And then we're gonna take a curve into here. Can I can't do it much smoother, but that's fine. And then of course we go back to the highways and we just upgrade it. And now we have a nice highway connection for this district as well. I wonder if that is gonna do something positive for me. I did struggle with it. But of course, that kind of explains it. Anyways, we go up here again, and then we take another curve into here. Beautiful. Upgrade that to highway. Well, but at least that kind of proved the concept. We don't really need an entrance. It's just, it makes it easier for people to initially move in, I think. But generally speaking, this district was still kind of working, even though there was no connection at all. Oh, one thing I almost forgot about. We need a couple of parks, well, parking lots. And I wanted some here on the top, and I also wanted some here at the bottom. Actually, right here where we have all the buildings. I'm sorry, you suckers have to go. I'm also gonna add 2 beautiful parks, and that should probably do the trick. Actually, I did it a little bit differently. I had those parks right here, and I had these guys facing the other way. And this is gonna allow us to add even more parking lots. Wow, there's already a tremendous amount of people using my public transport here. This is actually great. How many people? 7,200 in total, which is not bad considering we are only at 40,000 at the moment. But yeah, if we look at these districts, this contains 19,000 people at the moment, both 19,000. So yeah, I would say with a configuration like this, we should get about 60 to 70,000 people in. Yeah, it's still gonna be quite some work, I have to say, also quite some time. But it's just working brilliantly, especially with the trains. I just love the train setup. Now, one more thing I actually would like to test. At the moment, I believe we almost have enough industry because I also upgraded it using the district policies. But I think we can get rid of that a little bit. And we add a couple more offices instead. I wasn't sure what to add in here, what I was lacking. But now I'm pretty sure I want to add a couple more offices. Yeah, they're building right away, which is good because we need to connect the power again. Okay, we did it. At the moment, they are complaining about not enough workers, which shouldn't be a problem because we can zone a little bit more here, which is slowly but surely gonna make our way back. And I think with the setup I've done here, yeah, we've also got the power along the entire district. Speaking of district, let's actually make it one. There we go. It is called Brook Park and we already have almost 1,000 people in here. Of course, looking at my buildings, you can see most of them are upgraded, or at least they should be very dark. Yeah, look at that. Commercial is completely upgraded at the moment, industrial also almost completely. This city is flourishing for some reason. We do have some abandonment in the industry mostly because, well, this time not enough worker, but the most complaint is not enough buyers, so... And this kind of wants to make me add more commercial. Oh, of course, I totally forgot about the garbage. I did it like that for the 2 other districts. So that's probably something we're gonna do here as well. We want it to be quite far away, to be honest. 2 incineration plants right there. Do we still... Yeah, we're still connected. Okay, garbage trucks, come to the rescue. This is actually a pretty cool spot. It's kind of out of sight from everyone else. Oh, and by the way, this was all done without the artificial demand mod. Ever since the update, this mod didn't work anymore, so I kind of disabled it, or maybe I even removed it. This is all with natural demand and theoretically would be possible without too many mods. Well, I did use traffic manager and stuff like that, but you know what I mean. And I'm still making so much money, 24,000. I swear, at one point I made 50,000 a week. It was a great feeling. Oh, what's wrong with that? Water treatment plant, echo. Oh, I did use the wrong ones here. That's not good. Get rid of that, get rid of that. We want echo, of course. 1, 2, and 3. Ooh, seems they are not quite as powerful. So let's add a bunch more. By the way, this might look bad, but it never accumulates more than this. I've been observing this for hours now and it's really working out. And look at the amount of people just crossing over here and then they are waiting there for the trams. I just love it. I also like that they have new types of vehicles. I think they came in with the industry DLC, but it's pretty nice to look at. Kind of morbid to know what the smoke is made of. Oh well. You know what? I think we're just gonna fill it up now. I'm ready. I'm ready for some growth. Yeah, I feel like at this point we do need to add more commercial and industrial. This is just not working out. But that is fine. I didn't think I would get around this. And we're gonna do this quite similarly to before. I think right here I only have 1 tile of a spacing before we go ahead and plant down our tram roads. So something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4 and go up again. And I guess we don't really need this anymore, right? I replaced it with a path. That is fine. Gonna build a little path right there. Next up, we need to place our center road as usual. And I think I just started from the top here with the pattern. And the pattern being 2 out without touching and then 1 road going straight through. At the bottom we have something that is a little bit bigger, but most importantly we need those freaking tram tracks. We need the one that just allows trams to go over. So we can connect this and then we remove all of the traffic lights. Next we want to set up our train terminal right here, and this is going to be the last one for this. Otherwise we're going to have too many trains coming in, and I think we just need to, well, we need to go to another area anyways. Like, we don't have enough space here. But speaking of train terminal, let's actually add that right here. Slope too steep. Okay, I can add it one earlier, that's no problem. We're gonna connect those up, and then we also need a way to connect to this again. So can I just do it like that? Okay, that is actually working. Nice. I didn't think I would get away this easy. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, we just connect it like that if we can, somehow, somewhere. Yeah, get rid of that and we should be cool. Now, of course, we also need some water. So here you go. I also installed some power in these units. I think probably one would have done, but better safe than sorry. We have a couple of parking spaces here. Slope too steep. Nothing I can do about that, I guess. Well, maybe we can terraform. No, I don't think we can do it, but we can go with a bunch of small ones. One here, one there, one here. Yeah, why not? Yeah, that was definitely not smooth enough. I mean, that is even crazy. Who wants to park over there? Good. Before I forget, we need our highway connection. So we want to come up here and connect to there. Upgrade, upgrade. Beautiful. What else did I forget? The subway, of course. How could I? We need a station right here. Want to connect this to there. Pause the game, move this over, and add a couple of stops. This probably also increased the amount of vehicles we have automatically. Yeah, it went up to 8. Let me do the trams as well, since we're already at it. Trams are set up. I set it up to have 6 trams each. This was supposedly enough for my other lines. Let me actually check. Yeah, we don't have too many passengers here. Into the other direction, we're also fine. It's being used, definitely, but not as frequently as in the residential area. We're gonna get things started with some commercial, of course, but we also need our pathways here. Yeah, they seem to be desperate for commercial. Okay, nice. Let's get this started. We want garbage. We have some incineration plants here at the bottom. That should be enough. Then we have a clinic and one here at the top. We also have some fire stations, naturally some police stations here and there. And that's about it, right? Oh yeah, maybe some parking spaces here. Cannot hurt. Now, I know there's a high demand for industry. However, as long as I still get the stuff that they don't have enough buyers, I'm not too sure if I should zone more industrial, though at the moment it looks as though it's gone. So maybe a little more industrial cannot hurt at this point. We're gonna do that, and maybe we are also gonna do all of our offices. Now, since this is the last district right here, I believe we can get rid of this connection. It's unlikely we still need it. Oh, one more thing I totally forgot about is we have to regulate this intersection here. This is not going well otherwise. So one can actually go right here, and you can go like so and so. From this direction you can only go towards the right, or you can go straight. You can go towards the right or towards the left, and that's it. So only people from this street can actually go towards the right. And this way we have the traffic a little bit more under control without using traffic lights. We already breached the 10,000 mark in Brook Park, and we only have we only have it halfway built up yet. Not even at the maximum level. I wonder how many cars I already have. How far am I at the limit? I know we can have 16,000 car, and I reached it at 300,000 population the last time when we weren't really taking care of having fewer cars. But now we have like 8,500 people already using the public transport every week. I mean, they have no other choice, so maybe let me skip ahead a little bit. I'm gonna play for a couple more minutes and then I'm gonna present you with the results. Once we have this filled up and we can estimate about how many people that is and how many more times we have to do that until we get it to 1 million. Alright, so I observed this for quite some time, maybe 20 minutes or so. I had to add a couple more industries on the outside as well as shopping. I'm not sure if we're also going to do that with the offices. This caused the demand for the industry and commercial to go down again, so maybe now we are going to develop some more for the residential again. This wasn't growing the entire time, even though, you know, as an entirety, we were growing up to 60,000 people. So I'm pretty sure if we get this all filled up to the maximum, we should get 70 to 80,000 people in, no problem. And that is just a small part of the city, as you can see. We can repeat this pattern a couple of times until we run out of space. And how many vehicles would you say do we have? It must be under 1,000 or so. It has to be, because if it's not, then it's not gonna work. But yeah, I guess at this note we're actually going to wrap it up. All I need to do is wait a little bit more for the residential demand to go up again. I don't want to use the mod if not necessary. I believe you can do it without adjustable demand. You just need to have the patience and the infrastructure. Maybe as a last deed for today, let's go ahead and add in the offices here. I want to make sure that we have full-sized offices. So we're only going to do it for the left side always. Good. Okay, with that out of the way, I think we can wrap up today's episode. Thank you so much for watching and voting in the previous episode. I will wait a few more days until the votes are in, but at the moment it looks as though it's in favor of actually doing a second series. But with that out of the way, thank you so much for watching, have a great time, and hopefully I'm going to catch you in the next video. Bye bye.